Hello, everybody. This is Sue Frederick, and I'm thrilled to have you all here. This is our journey to the divine realms for you to meet your spirit guides, your council of elders, have a past lifetime experience, and get a reboot. If you haven't done this for a while, I'm so blessed because I get to do it almost every day with clients. There is just nothing better than taking clients on this journey and getting to go there because I always go with them. And so I get to go there myself. And it just validates for me over and over again that yes, the divine realms are more real than the physical world. And when we open ourselves to signs, to knowingness and experiences about these realms, and even when we ask to experience them in a way that we will be absolutely confident that it took place, that request is always answered. And so tonight it's my blessing to be able to take you all on that kind of a journey with me. And I know some of you have done this with me before. And some of you are clients who I've taken on this journey before as well. And the thing I want you to know is that your only job is to trust what you get, to trust however this experience comes to you tonight, and not to become frustrated if perhaps you're not having a visual image and instead you're maybe having feelings, emotions, a sense of knowingness, or hearing an audio experience. Any way that your soul brings this to you is going to be exactly perfect for what you need at this point in your life. And you can even think of it's sort of like we're having a day at the beach together, or a day in the mountains, or wherever you're comfortable being in nature. And we're all just laying there looking at the beauty around us, and we're just daydreaming, and we're seeing pictures, and we're experiencing other worlds. And maybe when you all were young, you remember those times when you would lay, out on a deck or a porch with your friends and giggle all night looking at the stars. And you would say, imagine if so-and-so happened, or someday I'm going to have this, get married, or someday I'm going to have this kind of career. And you would sort of imagine it and picture it. That was your soul even then, giving you some insight about your future. And it's not hard, is my point. It is something we do effortlessly to go on this journey, to see the divine realms, to remember where we're from, and to have that incredible renewal gift of having a conversation with our guides about our life. And when I do it in a group like this, it's so helpful if you have anything to write with afterwards so you don't forget it. But if you don't have that, don't stress. I don't want you to go looking around for a pen and paper. But if you do have something to write with, it is helpful to write your experience when it's over so that you do remember it. But the other thing I was going to say, I had started to talk about when I was at the International Association of Near-Death Studies conference in August. And when you hear, just so many experiences of the speakers who have had these profound near-death experiences where it's documented that their physical body was dead and they went into a journey, and there was no mental activity recorded on their brain in the hospital, and yet they went on a journey and had incredible, profound meetings with not only guides, but God consciousness and soul reviews. And so I'm just going to start one as we wait. A couple more people are coming. I'm just going to share one of these. There is an incredible man that I met while I was at the conference, and he ended up being my assistant when I taught a sacred numerology workshop. He's such a wonderful soul, and his name is David Williamson. And I know some of you like to go on YouTube, and if you later on go on YouTube, you'll find many of his YouTube videos. But he describes growing up in the Deep South in 50s and 60s, and there were Ku Klux Klan marching through his small town in the South. And so he became quite angry because he's a Black man, a beautiful Black man. And he became quite angry, and he believed that that the world was against him, which was a really easy message for him to get growing up in the South in that time. And so he was angry at the world, and he would go to, apply for a job or something. And this is his words. He says, I would be so angry at the white man who was coming to interview me for the job and believing that he was a racist and prejudiced and everything, that he would feel my energy and I wouldn't get the job. And he said, but I didn't know that. I didn't understand that energetic exchange. And then he was in his early 40s, I think. And he had a massive heart attack. And that's how our body reacts when we're carrying around a lot of pain, a lot of anger. The body will sometimes give us a huge wake-up call where we can say, hey, I don't want to go through the rest of my life like this. So my soul is offering me this reboot here. And in that heart attack experience, he died in the ambulance, and they got him to the hospital and began to resuscitate, and he was legally dead for a certain amount of time in the ER. And his story is that as he lifted up out of his body, he was shown by a guide, by a loving guide, not any kind of a judgmental being, but a very loving source, that he saw every interaction where he had been angry and blameful in his life. And he realized, oh, they were also reacting to my energy. And he had never really seen it that way. And he said he had a conversation with his guide, and he said, I just want to stay here because it was such a beautiful realm of love, as it is when we leave the body. And his guide said, no, you have to go back because you're going to be one of the great teachers there someday. And he was like, no, I want to stay. I want to stay. Because we all do that when we meet with our guides and we're in that loving realm. We all want to stay there. And they said, no, you're going to help so many people. And so he came back into his body, and he says he was in a world of pain for such a long time, recovering. And it was called what is it called? A widowmaker heart attack, And so as he recovered, he was processing, what happened to me? Was that a dream? And he was so confused. And then he said he really went through a crisis because he suddenly didn't know who he was anymore. He wasn't reacting the same way to life. And then he found International Association of Near-Death Studies and began watching some of those YouTube videos and talking to some of the people who run that organization. And he said, I found my home, and I realized there's millions of people like me who had experiences like this. And he really is extraordinary now. He's a speaker, he's a coach, he's a healer. He's got a great YouTube channel. And of all the people I met at IONS, he glows with this beautiful angelic energy. I mean, he walks in a room and everybody goes, oh. And he says, oh, I wasn't like that when I'm before my NDE. And I'll tell you one more story, and then we'll go on our own journey. So another story was a beautiful woman from England named Julie Chimes. She has one of the first documented NDEs from in England, where she lived. I think it happened in the 80s. And she was home alone in her English cottage, and a stranger came in. Actually, I think the stranger was looking for her partner or something, and her partner wasn't there, but somehow just started stabbing her with a knife, and just kept stabbing her. And all these little amazing things happened that allowed her to sort of survive this. And that's a whole nother story. Like a week before, she had been to a psychic just on a whim, and the psychic said, you need to change your front door. And she went, what? And the psychic said, yeah, your front door, it's the direction is wrong. And so she went home and looked at her front door and realized it pulled inward to open, and that it, she didn't like it that way, and she had thought about fixing it. So she replaced it with a door that opened out to the outside to open up. And as this man is stabbing her in her house, she was able to push the door open because it went the right direction in the hallway. And she fell out into the street where there were people going by, and he was still stabbing her, and she's laying in the street covered in blood, and people were driving around her because they didn't know what to do. They were sort of terrified of the scene. And then somebody called an ambulance, and they put her in the ambulance, and she spent a long time in the hospital, but she recovered. So her near-death experience, she saw the man stabbing her as she lifted out of her body, and she saw his entire backstory. And this is what happens in our soul review. We see the backstory of everyone who's ever hurt us in any way. And we realize how much pain they have come from, how much pain they've experienced. And she said, I watched him stabbing me, and I felt absolute love and compassion for him. And I thought, oh, that poor soul. He's all alone in his mind, thinking no one loves him. And she was just loving on him from spirit out of her body. And then she saw her own future, but then she did a soul review with her guide, and she realized she had just been partying for more than a decade in London, just having a party kind of life, overindulging with alcohol and things, and not really having a purpose. And as she reviewed that life, she said, I want to stay here in this divine realm. And the guides said, no, we love you deeply, but you have to go back and make a difference now and share your story. And so she got thrown back into the physical world, and she started writing and telling her story. And her book is astounding too, if you want to, and she's on videos, YouTube, Julie Chimes, if you want to look that up. So with these stories, I want to help you trust that what we are doing tonight is literally having a near-death experience together. We are going to leave our body. I'm going to guide you all through the process, and I'm going to guide you to see certain things, go in certain areas of the divine realms with me, and you will meet your primary spirit guide. You will do a mini soul review that I'm going to help you understand how to do. And we're going to go meet the council of elders, the most highly evolved souls, who they help all of us in different ways, and they come together for each soul in unique groups to help guide us. And I'm going to help you know the questions. I'm going to feed you the questions to ask. But right now, I want you all to think about what your intention is for this experience. We're not going to do a past life tonight. We're going to do that next week, because tonight we are doing so much amazing stuff with the soul review, with the visit with your elders, your council, with the visit with your primary spirit guide, and with your departed loved ones. Because the minute we go through the tunnel of light together, your beautiful departed loved ones are going to be right there waiting to hug you and love you, and you'll be able to see and feel and touch them in a way that will really blow your mind. And especially the grieving moms that I've worked with, when I've taken them on this journey, they've all just said, this is the first time since my child crossed that I really felt them with me again in that very physical way. And I know these words sound silly if you're grieving today, but please trust this process, that yes, you can really have an experience of being with your beloved departed. And so you'll have some time to connect with them, and I'll help guide you through some questions to ask them and things to tell them and to kiss on them and love on them. So there's going to be so many rich experiences in this tonight. And right now, pause and take a moment. And if you have a way to write it down, just write what is your intention. So for example, your intention could be to have an experience of knowing that my beautiful child is happy and well in the divine. Or you could say, my intention is to really look at my life for what it is and be able to see what I need to do better with, so that when I go back to my life tonight, I can understand who I need to be more loving to or more forgiving to. And then another intention could be to ask my counsel and my guides what my life purpose is here. Why am I here? What is my work supposed to be? They will answer things like that. Also, if you have a health problem, this is the place where you can get an answer about what is the purpose of this health issue and how can your soul heal it. And even when we're in the council, I'm going to ask the council to give you an experience of pure God, unconditional love, and healing in that moment where you stand in front of the council. And I still get tingles even talking about it, because whenever I take a client to do that, they have that experience. So all of this is happening for us tonight. Before I hit the go button on this, are there any questions, concerns? I'm going to mute everybody so there's no background noise, and you should be comfortable, but you have to be able to hear me, because I'm going to be feeding you questions and I'm going to be guiding you through this process. So any questions from anyone before, and you might have to unmute yourself when you ask a question. Yes, Kate.
Is it possible that we can ask all those questions, or have all those intentions? I mean,
Yes.
for one session.
Yes, this is your journey.
Okay.
This is like the greatest. I just can't even tell you all how amazing it is to get to do this with clients every day. I mean, I can have a grumpy morning where, I got a problem I have to deal with on my computer or technology or something, or something like that is making me annoyed. And then I get to go do a session with a client where I get to take them on this journey. And I come out of it vibrating and elevated, and I'm getting answers even as I'm asking them what question, guiding them through questions. So this is your best vacation ever. So make full advantage of it. Have all those questions, ask them, trust what you get. And if you ever reach a point where your mind is going, oh, come on, you're just making this up, then you say to your mind, yeah, I'm making it up, but okay, mind, you go sit over there and have a cookie, because I'm just going to sit here and make it up and have a good time and just keep going with whatever comes to you. And then what you'll find is at the end of the process, when you have experienced it and you've even written some notes about it, you'll be going, wow, I mean, there's no way I could have made that up. Or if I did make it up, my soul gave me a lot of great answers in that experience. So, all right, somebody else, just speak. Don't even bother to raise your hand because I can't see everybody on the screen. Do you have a question before we go?
Sue, who was the man you were talking about who has the YouTube videos? I didn't catch his name. I want to check out what he does.
David Williamson. And oh my God, he's such a beautiful soul. Such a beautiful soul. He was literally, I met the most important people at that conference. Do you know where I met him? In the coffee line in the Starbucks shop at the hotel. I would be standing there early in the morning, grumpy because it was early, and trying to get my coffee. And then you would turn around and meet somebody waiting in line. And one morning I turned around, I heard his voice, and I turned around and I went, who are you? And he goes, David Williamson, who are you? And we had this exchange where I was like, oh my God, he's got angels around him now. And that's how these experiences affect us. And maybe you guys have heard the story that I was actually taking a client on one of these journeys, I guess it was last week. and an angel appeared in my bedroom, and it was the most extraordinary angel, and it's vivid, and I've posted it on social media, and I've never had an experience like that. And I sit in the same room every day doing my sessions, and the light never changes. It's always the same setting, the same light, the same windows. And on that day, as I guided that soul, this angel appeared in my room. I got pictures of it because it was mind-blowing, and I've posted them on social media. Maybe I could do this really quick, just share, because I had it on my desktop too before. No, I've changed it. I don't have it there anymore. I will get that to you next week. I will share that on the screen next week. So now I got to get out of this thing. How do I get out of it?
Could you please repeat the gentleman's name?
David Williamson.
David Williamson.
Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful Black man. And he has a huge YouTube channel, and I told him he has to write his book. And he speaks at different places, and I think even, yeah, and he coaches people now. So this is how life-changing it is when you know that this physical world is not real. This is how life-changing it is when you realize that your true home is in the divine realms with loving beings, with God, with angels, with guides, with your departed loved ones, and that you are a divine being in your core, that these physical body suits that we're wearing, they're just temporary costumes. And we chose these bodysuits because they were going to bring us into the earth to have the exact lessons and share the exact gifts that our soul needed to experience in this life. And we even choose certain illnesses because they are things that are going to bring us to a place of growth and evolution that maybe we haven't been able to get to in other lifetimes. So I have to add one more piece to my angel in my room story. So some of you know, a few years ago, I was diagnosed with a genetic heart defect that nobody had ever seen before or found on me before, which was that I have a bicuspid aortic valve rather than a tricuspid. And it's so funny because it means you don't get as much oxygen as other people or blood to the heart. And I was a mountain climber in my 20s in Colorado, you know, climbing 14,000 foot peaks. And I was always winded, but I was always pushing myself so hard. And what I found out is that because of that leak, because of that wrong valve that I have, there was an aneurysm growing there in my ascending aorta. So the cardiologist here in Arizona kind of went crazy about all that, you know, and measuring it, having me do these exams to keep measuring its growth. And he had a certain cutoff point where he wants to do open heart surgery. I know I shouldn't in any way complain because other people go through a lot worse, but I was terrified of open heart surgery. I don't want to do it, you know, and I want to keep working. I don't want downtime. And so I've been praying a lot and just saying, angels, I'm really happy doing my work. Please let me stay and don't let me have to go through that and be sick. And on the day that this angel appeared so vividly, the next morning was my already scheduled CAT scan for my cardiologist. And you guys, it's an aortic aneurysm. They don't shrink, but mine shrunk. And I've talked to my sister who's a nurse. I've talked to some other people, and I'm meeting my cardiologist next week to go over it. But that is a miracle right there. And I've heard of other people having these kinds of miracles. And that is when we really call on those angels. And when we're going into this realm that I'm going to take you in, you can ask for healing miracles like this. And they do exist because we're not alone here. We have a posse of spirits trying to help us every moment of every day. So any more questions before we move on and do this? So I can't see you, so I'm just assuming that that means no more questions. Speak now or never. Okay, so I'm going to mute all. Okay, so now everybody just trust me on this vacation here. And I'm going to first guide you to relax the body, and then I'll take you on the journey. And then when we come back, we'll share what our experiences were. So I might turn off one of my lights too. Let's see. I don't want to be too bright in your world here. Just see what happens. Oh, that's a little too, or is that okay? Is that better for you guys? Okay. So everybody, let's just take 3 deep breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And now I want you to see and experience with me a beautiful purple globe of light above your head, above your crown chakra. And as you experience this beautiful purple globe of light swirling around above you, just know that it means complete healing, complete relaxation, complete realignment of the body with the soul's divinity. And so as this beautiful purple light moves down through the top of your head, it washes down, first calming and relaxing and easing your mind, spinning out any anxiety thoughts, fear thoughts, worry, self-doubt, all being spun out through the cells and pores of your body and replaced with this beautiful purple sacred light. And as this purple light comes down, relaxing your eyes, your eyebrows, your facial muscles, let it ease everything about you. So you feel so loved and so comfortable and so at peace in this purple sacred light. This light makes you feel like you are at home in the safest, most grace-filled place. Nothing to worry about. And as this purple light comes down, it relaxes your neck, relaxes your jaw, relaxes all the places where you've carried yourself with so much strength, integrity, and worry and fear throughout this whole lifetime. All of the throat chakra tension that we've had to carry as we may hold back our truth sometimes, or say words in anger, or not speak our truth. All of that is eased and healed and realigned with your spirit, with this beautiful purple sacred light. And now the purple light comes down, relaxing the shoulders so that your shoulders drop completely from the burdens that you've carried in this lifetime, from all the times when you've wanted to give up on this life and you've gone to bed and said, I'm never getting up again, I'm done. And then you've had to just get back up and try again. This purple light eases the burden, releases the heaviness that you have had to carry in this life, reclaiming the knowledge that you are such a good and beautiful and loving soul. You have done your best in every moment of this life. And sometimes it has felt like you've made a mistake or fallen down or given up, but it is never true. All of those were moments of soul learning. And as we embrace this purple light moving down now through the upper arms that have picked up so many burdens to carry, through the elbows that have given you the flexibility to take what you need from life, the lower arms, and all upper body tension releasing through the palms of the hands, and you can shake your hands loose. Mm. And now this purple light carries down, opening the chest and the heart chakra so that you can fully experience unconditional God love, which is your birthright here on earth, to feel and know the unconditional love of God. To breathe it in, to let it nurture you and nourish you in every area of your life and of your body. This unconditional God love. And as you take these deep, unfettered breaths of unconditional love, the heart chakra opens, expands. It allows you to take it in deeply, to heal yourself, and to release it and send it out to all those you love and all those you don't love, sending out God's unconditional love. And now the rib cage opens and expands to allow this sacred purple healing light to tell your body there is no need to protect yourself. There is no need to hold your heart in a cage. You are a magnificent angelic being traveling on your journey of consciousness evolution. And you agreed to be here now at this time in the world that is so difficult because you knew that you would find a way to shine your light brighter and stronger than ever in the darkness, and to love and compassion more people, to tip our humanity into an awakening of love. This is your agreement. And now this purple light comes down, easing and opening the abdomen so you never feel that you're not good enough, that you ever have to pretend to be someone else or hold your stomach in to try to be worthy. Release, expand, and be your divine self in this purple sacred light. And now the purple light comes down, opening the hips, easing every injury, every illness, every pain that you've ever had in the body, realigned, reclaimed with your divinity. And this purple light comes down the upper legs, the powerful quadriceps that have carried you through every step of this lifetime, being healed and realigned and re-strengthened in this moment with the purple light. And now moving down to the knees that give you flexibility and yet take so much damage in this earthly realm. All healing now is happening in your knees with this sacred purple light. And now this purple light moves down through your lower legs, healing and easing the calf muscles, the bones, the cells, the muscles, every part of your body now realigned with purple, sacred, holy light. And now this purple light comes down through your feet, and all human tension, illness, exhaustion, injury, and stress is released through the bottoms of your feet. Take a deep breath with me. And now we are so joyful to see the golden globe of God consciousness above our heads, above our crown chakra. This golden glowing light fills and illuminates the entire room that we are in, the space that we are in. And as with our eyes closed, we see this golden light of God consciousness, of unconditional love, sparkling, shimmering, filling the space, and now moving down through the crown chakra, replacing our human mind with golden stars of light of God, with golden light beams of pure unconditional love, moving down through the head, shaking us loose of the monkey mind, of the human experience, of the drama, of the human stories that hold us down, of the pain stories we're attached to, all being released with this golden light that reclaims us as part of God, as part of divinity, just on a temporary journey here, but now being set free to travel back home to the divine realms. And as you picture this golden light moving down through your entire body, see it replacing every bone, every tissue, every muscle, every cell with God love, golden light, until you see golden stars shooting out from the cells and pores of your body. You are a powerful golden being of light. You radiate so much love and high consciousness in this moment that there is nothing dark that will ever affect you again in your life, including negative thoughts. They cannot survive in this golden, glowing light of God consciousness. And now, with this knowingness, we lift freely out of the body, joyfully claiming our divinity again, our golden essence as beings of light, part of God. And as we lift out of the body in perfect health and awareness and filled with love, we see 10 golden stairs of light in front of us, the stairs we take to heaven between every life. And we move up these 10 stairs and we feel lighter and more happy and joyful with each step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, moving up 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now we're in the tunnel of light that we travel through between every lifetime, swirling kaleidoscope of colors in this tunnel. And at the end is glowing golden light where our beloveds await. You can see your departed loved ones waiting there at the end of the tunnel for you with so much love and happiness. And so we move the 10 steps through the tunnel, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, into the embrace of our departed loved ones, our angelic guides, our spirit guides. We allow them to hug us, wrap themselves around us, and carry us with such love into the sacred meeting place where we go between every lifetime to process our life, to look at it, to see how we're doing. But first, in this sacred meeting place, it's a circle of light, a circle of stone benches. Be in this beautiful circle now and note your departed loved ones are all around you. They're hugging you. They're on either side of you. They are their best selves. It doesn't matter what they look like when they crossed. They are happy, healthy, glowing in the divine realms because that is their true nature. And see them, let them love on you. Breathe it in. It doesn't even matter how long ago they crossed. They're so pure and happy to see you here. And they look like the best self that you ever knew them as. And let them kiss on you. Let them make you laugh. And you can now, with them, ask them a question. And it might be a question like, why did you leave me the way you did? Why did you have to go? Or why did you suffer? Or are you okay? And sit for a moment in the silence and experience them and listen to what they say. You may find yourself crying or laughing with them, and that's wonderful. You may find yourself just kissing their face, their head, their arms. Take their hand, hold their hand. Ask them to help you heal from their departure. You can tell them you feel so much grief and you're tired of missing them. Ask them to love on you enough right now that you feel so much better when you go back to your life. And now you can say to them anything that you long to say to them that perhaps you didn't say when they were here. And now take a breath, knowing that they're with you and they're going to be with you on this journey for the rest of the day, the rest of the time tonight with us. And with that peaceful knowing that they're right next to you, arm in arm, I want you to look and see. You have angel guides, you have spirit guides here, the souls who have always loved you from your first incarnation as a being of light. They have loved you and guided you through every lifetime experience, even the painful ones. They've always been there, offering you a way through it, helping you forgive yourself, helping you heal yourself, helping you love yourself. Look at these beautiful beings of light, these highly evolved souls. Ask them right now, what is my arc of learning in this life? What am I trying to learn? And how am I doing? And just listen to what they say. You can feel them just love on you and tell you with such love what you're doing here, how you're learning things. And they'll even tell you what you should focus on next in your life. And just listen to what they say. And tell them, yes, I'll work on that. I'll do that next. And now ask them for help with something in your life that you're struggling with. It could be an illness, it could be grief, it could be a sense of not having a purpose, a sense of needing meaningful work in your life, a sense of needing to forgive someone, or needing to feel more optimistic about the world today. Ask them to help you with that thing you're struggling with the most. Put that problem out for them to take. Hand it to them. Put it on a plate. See yourself putting it on a plate and handing it to them. And they are taking it from you. They're saying, I'm going to carry this. I'm going to help you. Ask your primary guide to put their hands or their essence on your heart to heal you from the wounds you've experienced in this lifetime, from the broken hearts, the disappointments, the grief, the self-doubt. Ask them to put their hand on your heart chakra, your heart center. Let them heal you in this moment. Feel a loving presence healing you. And now ask your guide to take you on a walk separately now on the paths of this beautiful realm. Incredible flowers and a walkway and a path. And tell the guide you really do want to do a soul review. You want to see how your actions have affected others. And you want to be able to see it without blame or self-doubt or anger. You just want an honest view of how you've impacted people. And you want to understand the backstory of the people who've impacted you. And your guide is nodding and loving on you and saying, yes, that is why we are here today, and taking you to a favorite spot in the divine realms. It could be a bench by the ocean. It could be a bench by a garden. It could be a sacred room of healing. Wherever you're comfortable, let your guide take you there. And now your guide is actually holding you, wrapping their arms around you and showing you through your eyes the view that God has, that the soul has of your lifetime, this life. And your guide is walking with you through that life, going back through childhood, those early years where there might have been chaos or pain or abuse at home. Just pause in it now with your guide. Ask your guide to show it to you from a soul's view. Where was the love coming from in that moment that you may not have seen or realized? Where was the angel that was actually protecting you in certain moments? See that angel now. Ask to see the moments where you were young but yet heard guidance and knew you were being helped and protected in some way and acted with that knowing. See the moments in your childhood when you sent out energy to others that perhaps wasn't fully loving. Watch the ripple effect of that with great love and awareness and wisdom. Seeing who you may have hurt when you didn't even realize it. Ask the guides to show you words that you could have said differently in those moments, or actions you could have taken differently in those moments that would have lifted you up to a higher vibration, a higher, more loving way of walking through those painful challenges. Ask your guide to show you who you most hurt in your years becoming a teenager. Perhaps it was friends that hurt you, that you hurt as well, or parents or relatives. See it all unfold in a very authentic, honest, loving view from above, with great love shining on yourself, knowing that you were doing exactly the best that you understood how to do in that moment of your journey. Just love on yourself, watching that beautiful teenage child trying to find their way in the world. trying to understand how to survive in the earth. Heal those injuries that came to you in those painful moments. Heal them now by loving on yourself as you see those moments again. Being the angel that wraps their arms around you in those painful moments. Be that angel now, wrapping their arms around you in those painful moments. And now move forward to becoming an adult and having jobs and careers that you chose, maybe choosing not what served your highest good or not what you were capable of. Review those choices and take a moment to understand why you made those choices and maybe what different choices you could have made, and see them in a loving way. See them with great wisdom. And now move through adulthood. See the great heartbreaks, the pain, the grief, perhaps the frustration, the tears, and revisit those moments with the love of your guide holding you in healing love, lifting you out of the worst moments with love and grace and wisdom. See the choice points where you could have made a different choice that would have brought your life in a better direction. Be honest and see those moments now with great love and great wisdom. See how the energy you put out to the world and even the words you spoke to the world may have impacted how the world saw you and reacted to you. Ask to be shown what different ways you could have acted, what different energy you could have sent out, and see it with great love, and know that you can be that now in your life. And now moving to the present day moment of your current life, taking a look, 360-degree look at your current life, studying your choices, your relationships, your challenges, your pain, your gifts, and asking the guide to show you in this moment how you can live better, love better, make better choices that will impact your life in a better way. Listen and see what the guide is showing you. Ask to see your future with a whole different possibility that is born in this moment of love and wisdom. Embrace that future. Tell your guide that you make a promise when you come back into this life, you will live from that higher place of love and wisdom every day. And you will let your guide lift you up at a moment when you need to be lifted up so that you understand a different choice, a different word you can make in that moment. Now sit in this beautiful bench with your guide again, coming back into that present moment. And look at your guide sending you so much love, so much compassion. Say, I understand now. I understand how I can be better, be brighter, be more golden light in the world. And I will do this and be this from this moment on. And your guide is loving on you so much, saying, yes, I know this. I see it in you. And now your guide walks you back. Your departeds are there again, embracing you on the path. And now all of you walk towards the sacred meeting place of the Council of Elders. It's in a very spectacular meeting place in the divine realms. To some people, it looks like a cathedral. Some people see it as a dome structure. Some people see it as a place in nature. It is the most beautiful place you've ever been, and it is filled with particles of golden light and love, and your unique counsel awaits you in this sacred place. So you say goodbye to your departed. They're going to wait outside the door. Your guide is going to wait outside the door. This is your counsel, your unique place. And you walk in now. Ah, it's so beautiful. It takes your breath away. Take a moment to stand in this sacred healing place and do a 360 spin and really see how beautiful it is. And take a moment to see how many beings are in your council. They are the most highly evolved souls. They do not come to earth. They are part of God's council in the highest realms. And this council knows your soul and loves you unconditionally and eternally. And you are part of God. And this council sees the beautiful, unique expression of God that is you in this lifetime. And as they view you in this room now, stand in front of the council, soaking up this love. Ask the council in this moment, how am I doing in this lifetime? Am I living up to my great golden potential? Show me how to do better, and show me what I'm trying to learn. Make it clear, counsel, and listen to what they say or the answer that they infuse into your heart. Ask the council what advice they have for the challenge that you are most struggling with today. Ask them to show you clearly how that challenge will resolve and what steps or actions you need to take to move towards the light of that challenge. Ask the council if there is healing needed in your relationships with a partner or with a family member or with a friend, to show you the healing that is needed in that relationship and how you will facilitate that healing. Listen to what they say. Ask the council about a problem that is most heavy on your heart, for them to heal it in this moment, so that when you go back to your life, this problem is magically resolved within the next few days. without struggle, and without angst. Ask for this now. Now ask the council to give you in this moment a healing for your physical body that you still are moving through in your earthly life. Ask to receive a healing right now. Now ask to see a healing for a loved one if it is in their soul plan to heal. Ask for that healing to take place now and over the next few days. Ask the council to infuse you right now with the most unconditional, powerful awareness of God in this moment that you have ever experienced in this lifetime. Ask to experience God fully now. And now, before you leave the council meeting place, ask them to give you a clear vision in this moment of your life purpose for the rest of this lifetime, to tell you in a sentence or two what you are here to do with your life, and to tell you now. And now I want you to thank the council for their guidance and their love, and tell them that you are open to receive that love and that guidance every day in your daily life, in your meditation, in your prayer, in your dreams, and that you will come back in your dreams tonight to experience it again, even more fully. And now thanking that council, soaking up their love one more time, and moving back out to the pathway where your departed loved ones wait, hugging you, grabbing your arms again, walking back with you, and your guide is leading the way down this path. You're feeling like this is the happiest moment you've ever had in this lifetime. You feel so complete, so loved, so part of everything in the universe, and so aware that life continues beyond the physical, and that there is a purpose to every moment of life. There is a divine order, purpose, and you see it all from here. You understand it from here. And you're just so filled with it that you're determined when you get back and we move back into the body and the physical world, you'll carry this awareness with you for the rest of your lifetime. And this fills you with joy, fills you with so much love and courage, fills you with so much courage and optimism for the rest of your life. And you're looking around at your departeds going, I get it now. I understand why you look so happy, because you're here now and you get to know this every day. So please whisper it in my ear every day. Please, departed loved ones, I will hear you now. I will hear you telling me this every day, and I will remember. And now your guide is hugging you, saying, you have done so well in this experience, but now we will bring you back into your earth body. This is enough for now, and we will see you in a few days. You'll come back, and then we'll go on some more adventures, and you can tell you're departed. Now, when I go back to my earth body, you all need to still be with me. Can you do that for me? And they're saying, we'll do the best we can. And your guide is saying, you got this. You know who you are now. And on that note, we turn and walk back through the tunnel of light, the vivid colors that we love, swirling through this tunnel, heading back to the earth realm. 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 5 and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now we're standing on top of the 10 light stairs, the golden stairs that lead back into the body. And with every step, we will come more fully into the human body. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a deep breath into your physical body. And again, another breath. And fill in your physical body with your soul. You can shake your hands, your feet. Bring every particle of that golden light wisdom back into your physical body. Take another breath. And as you begin to come fully back into the physical world, take a moment to be aware of what the most significant part of that experience was for you. And remember it, cherish it. You can write it down if you have your pen and paper. And so now, as we come back into this experience, would someone like to share what that was like for them? You'll have to unmute yourself. Can someone share with us out loud?
I'll share.
Okay.
It's Margaret.
Oh, Margaret.
I felt such beautiful, full support, like I'm not alone.
Yeah.
Knowing that it's so readily available to me to have the support and guidance and help. It's right there.
Oh, thank you for saying that. That's how it is for me. I feel every time I go on that journey, I can come back to my life going, I don't have to carry this alone. I'm not alone in this. I have beings who love me, who care for me because I'm part of God consciousness. That's the empowering lesson of these journeys. Thank you so much, Margaret, for sharing that.
Yes, thank you so much.
Would anyone like to share if they were able to do the soul review and if they felt they learned something that will change how they do their life moving forward? You have to unmute probably. Well, please share because it helps other people feel confident in their experience when more people share. Or if you just want to ask a question about it, or even tell me if you feel that one part of it was more helpful than another, just share for the group, for the good of all.
I'll share.
Okay, who is this?
It's Kelly.
Oh, Kelly, yes.
I have the tendency to always go very deep in guided meditations,
Mhm.
and that is what happened again. But I know that, I used to for the longest time think, oh, I just fell asleep and slept through it. But I always come out when the prompts are to come out, so I know that I'm not really just sleeping through it. And so I don't remember a lot of the specifics like that. And I'm hoping things will come to me, because I kind of asked as I was coming out that things be made clear to me as I need them. But I just felt like the deepest peace and just absolutely filled with love, more than probably I've ever felt,
Yeah.
and it was beautiful. Even though I don't remember a lot of specifics, I just have the feeling that I'm left with. And I don't know if others that you've worked with have experienced that where they don't really remember and then do things.
That's a divinely guided, that's a divinely guided question, because that question will serve everyone here. That is very common in the moment of the experience that you can't quite remember it all. However, tonight, before you go to bed, get in bed with your pen and paper, your journal, and just write any impressions, or even write a question. You can write, "Dear guides, please take me on a journey tonight in my sleep and my dreams. So to remind me of what I experienced here, give me more of this in my dream visions tonight." And then when you wake up in the morning, try to get up early enough that you can write, do that fast writing without questioning or editing, and more of it will come through. What I find is that every time you meditate in the next few days, every time you quiet your mind in prayer or in silence, more of this experience will come into your conscious mind. And it becomes the first time I did it where someone else was guiding it, it was literally weeks where I was still getting downloads of everything about it, just my guide whispering into my ear and me hearing it more and more clearly. I mean, we can think of this as developing the muscle that allows you to step out of the conscious mind and yet remember the experience, and then come back into the conscious mind and the conscious body and integrate it with who you are in your everyday life. In fact, that's what the near-death experiencers say, is that, like David Williamson, he says when he first came back in his body, he was just confused, like he couldn't put it all together, that it took him, deep relaxation, meditations, a lot of different ways that he was able to process it finally and understand what had happened to him. So, and then some other people come back and they remember it clearly and vividly. So it's very different for different people, but allow it to be how it's meant to be for you. And I really hope that some of you did experience that unconditional love of God that is permeating the universe, but it is so present when we go on that journey to the divine, to the council, to be with our departeds. That unconditional love is the fabric of who we are as divine beings. That is all of your birthright. And in your human life, even when you feel separated from that, you are not separated from it. Your mind is lying to you. So we do have to lose our minds to remember that we are deeply loved and we are part of God consciousness. And this universe has our back. This universe is helping us, serving us. We are never alone. And I know many of you know this picture behind me, this vision. I write about it in my book, Through a Divine Lens, where I got sick in 2014 and lifted out of my body. And these loving beings held me out in space to see the earth this way. And I said, what is that light? What are those beams of light? And they said, those are beams coming up from the souls on earth as they awaken and remember that they are part of God, that they are divine beings, and start living with more consciousness, more compassion, more love. And the guides showed me, they said every time a light beams up, it sparks so many other lights to awaken, to shine. And this is how we're filling in all the dark crevices of earth with the light. They kept saying the light is always winning. It doesn't matter how it can look in the details of physical life. The light is always winning. The love is always winning. And our challenge here is to pull our view out of the details of the drudgery of this heavy earth realm, because boy, it can suck our energy down into the dark details. But our job, our responsibility is to lift up to the view of seeing that light. And then more importantly, to carry that light out to the world. And we all have relationships that we can heal that way. We all have people we may be estranged from that perhaps we can start sending so much love and light to before we even reach out with words, just so that they begin to feel our love. And then when we send them a letter or an email or make a phone call to them, they're already aware of our love. And so we can have a healing conversation with them. Or if we're deeply grieving, when we go into that state of the bigger picture, and we remember that our loved ones are in that gorgeous place that we were just in, that's permeated with love and wisdom and light, they are having a great time. We are in the struggle part here. And then if we're struggling with money or life purpose or career, all of these principles apply to those very dense and real physical things. Each one of you has a purpose that you came here to fulfill. Each one of you has a career you can make money from that comes from that soul purpose. It may not be a conventional career, but I believe more and more we are all being called to do our true soul's work, not to go get a job, any job, just for a paycheck. And so when you talk to your counsel, hopefully they gave you some direction. If you need to change jobs or careers, that guidance is always there for you. So please know that we are always helped, but we do have to ask. We do have to ask because they can't interfere with us. We have to ask and tell them we're open to it. So who else would like to share or ask a question? Just unmute yourself and speak up.
Oh, go ahead.
Who is this speaking?
Okay, I don't know if she's speaking to me or not. Anyway, I'll make this short. In some ways, I feel like I did not arrive, and yet I also felt open and tried to allow myself to be there. And so I'm supposing that as time goes on, I will feel more of this.
Yes. And not only that, Wanda, but I'm recording this, so I'm going to send you all this recording tonight. You can turn it on in your bed and keep it, if you have AirPods, so you don't bother your partner, but just listen to it as you go to sleep, and it will take you back into that journey. And all my clients say they go back and listen to that recording and they're able to really go back into that world again. So that's the gift of this recording, and I'll get it out on email to all of you in about 20 minutes. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Wanda.
Mhm.
All right. And next week, we will be going on the most fun adventure as we drop into past lifetime that is significant to this one. And if you're grieving, you can ask specifically to go to a past lifetime where you were with your beloved, who you're now grieving from. And you know, many of you know, I lost my husband to cancer when I was quite young, 29 years old. And when I went into a past lifetime, I saw my relationship with him in that past life. And it was so healing for me to know that we've loved each other so many lifetimes. And, you know, him being gone for a while in this life, it's irrelevant almost, because our souls are eternally connected. And I promise you, if you're grieving for someone today, you are eternally connected to that soul. You've probably had many, many lifetimes with them. So next week's agenda is that, and also to have a conversation about if you believe that your soul is from there's 3 types of souls that people are talking about now, and that I've had clients tell me which one they are. Some souls incarnate on earth for thousands and thousands of lifetimes, and they get very comfortable in the earth realm, and they are the ones who can easily have a career and make money, and it's not that hard for them, and they feel at peace and at ease in a physical body and in the physical world. They often become leaders, you know, whether it's a corporate leader or a politician or something. They are very at home in this world. And then there are other souls who come from the angelic realms, the highest realm near God consciousness, and they barely ever incarnate on earth. They come in moments of turmoil on earth to help out in a profound way. And that definitely now there are so many souls here from the angelic realm, more than ever, trying to help humanity in this moment. And you could well be one of those angelic realm souls. And the way you know that that's your source is the angelic realms is that you're not comfortable in the physical world and you feel like you don't fit here. That has been me my whole lifetime. And your body may even react to this physical world in a different way than other people's. And you may see things differently without even knowing it's different until other people point it out that you have a very different perspective. And that's because you haven't spent thousands of lifetimes incarnating on earth. But you have a particular job to do when you're here. And it's hard to be from that realm because you're very sensitive and you can get very hurt here. And then there are other souls who incarnate here from intergalactic, very advanced civilizations in other galaxies. And they come specifically to advance human technology and all sorts of things that are happening on Earth. They come in very cerebral, very intelligent, and they create technologies and different advances to help humanity evolve. So for your fun homework, think about that and think about what you believe the origins of your soul are. And if you have a different category that doesn't fit in those, then I'd love to hear it. So next week, we'll talk about that. And also, I want you to, again, set your intention before next week about what kind of healing you want to do by going into a past lifetime, because I do not believe, and it's never been my experience, that you ever would incarnate back, or that you would ever revisit a lifetime that was too traumatic for you, because we don't go there. We ask for pure guidance to be able to drop into a past life where we really had some good experiences, we grew, we evolved, and we took that learning with us, and now it applies to our current life. That's how I guide it, and that's how your experience will be. So there's nothing to be afraid of. All right, my beloveds, we just have a few moments. One last question, and then I'll pray us out, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all next week. And I thought I saw somebody raising their hand, but I guess I didn't. All right, so we're going to pray out right now. So everybody take a deep breath with me. And so we call in that healing light to help us settle down for the night with a sense of God love permeating our cells, our bodies, a sense of comfort and ease, knowing that we are so loved and carried through this life, even in the darkest moments when we think we are alone. And so tonight, as you ease into your bed, you will have a deep, profound, restful sleep. And your guides will carry you on the wings of the angels to the divine realms for more healing. And you will see your departeds again. You will walk that path. You will visit your counsel. You'll get more insight. And it will all happen while you're having a deeply profound healing sleep. And so it is. Thank you, my beloveds. It was a beautiful experience for me. Thank you for that. I love you all. You can unmute and say good night.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Love
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.